Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to today's reading lesson. We are carrying on with our word meaning toolkit today, so we're going to be looking at the context of a sentence to determine the meaning of a word, just like last week. And we're going to carry on with our book, Escape from Pompeii. Right, let's have a look at our tricky words then. My turn, your turn. Loaves. Loaves are referring to bread, a loaf of bread. And that's one on its own. Loaf, singular, loaves, plural. Loaves. Blazed refers to the word fire. So this fire is blazing. Or you can say if something's blazed, it means that it's on fire. Blazed. Cornmill. So a mill was an old-fashioned building in the olden times where they used to grind up, that means make into tiny little pieces, corn. And then they used that corn when it was in tiny little pieces to make things like bread and cereal. And you can see in the bottom picture, a horse is moving around this equipment here and it's crushing all the corn to make it into cornmeal, make it into little pieces. And that's going to be in our story today. Cornmill. Braid. That's the noise that a horse and donkey makes. It goes like this, neigh, and that's braid. Bolt. So to bolt, the verb, means to run away from something. So this sentence would be, the postman bolted away from the dog. Bolt. Flushed. We've looked at this word before, I think. When it's an adjective like this and it's describing how someone looks, it means that their cheeks are really pink. So here, the girl is flushed. Flushed. Chirped. That's the word, also a verb, that tells us that a bird is talking or singing. So birds chirp. Chirped. Choppy. When water, often the sea, has lots of waves and it goes up and down, people describe it as choppy, and it's an adjective. Choppy. Mooring. So a mooring is somewhere where boats go to park. And if you see from the pictures, the boats, whoever's in charge of the boat ties their boat to something that holds it in place. That's because if you don't tie your boat up to something, it can float away. So it's a little bit like a car park for boats. Mooring. Okay, this is just a reminder of our word meaning toolkit then. Not sure what a word means, remember to read the word again, read around the word, think about the rest of the sentence, look at the pictures for any clues, and do we know any words that sound similar? All of this will help you to find out what a word means. But remember, don't look in the dictionary. Really try hard to see what's in the text to help you work it out. Okay, let's carry on with our story then. So on Friday, the last thing we read was that the ground suddenly started shaking. Tranio, remember he's our little Roman boy, was at the theatre and everything started creaking, rattling, quivering. And then they sang that song again, rumble down, tumble down, here we go again. And the last thing we read was that he ran off, Tranio ran off down the street. So let's see what happens next. He ran as fast as he could to Livia's house. Everyone was shouting, arguing, carrying belongings outside to safety. Livia, he called. Liv, where are you? The bakery kitchen was empty. Loaves lay scattered on the floor, the oven blazed, and the small donkey turning the cornmill brayed and jumped nervously against its chain. There he is. Nay. Tranio! Livia leapt down the stairs. Father's chasing our goat through the market. The poor old thing bolted when the ground began to grumble. You'd have died laughing. Come on. Flushed and excited, the two children ran off hand in hand into the dusty streets. But as they ran, the sky began to darken and a thick cloud drifted slowly overhead. Here it is, thick cloud. Livia turned to Tranio. Why are the seagulls flying towards the woods? They're going the wrong way. A small bird hanging in a cage chirped frantically, trapped behind its bars as the air began to fill with ash. There it is. Livia coughed. Tranio, perhaps we should go back. Tranio grabbed her hand. We can't go back. The dust is too thick. Quick, the harbour. Run, just run. Boats were bobbing on the choppy water as men began to untie the moorings and ropes. No one noticed two small children climb up the narrow plank of a small Greek cargo ship and hide beneath a pile of coloured rugs. Dusty and tired in their hiding place, they soon fell asleep. So here they are. They've run down here and they've hidden in one of these boats. Oh, I wonder what happens next.